Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode here on the Northern Lights server. We be grinding, lots of grinding for resources, so welcome to my tree patch. That's what we've been doing. We have a mega project in today's episode, and we have not even half collected the materials that we are going to need for this project. So without further ado, I think it's time to get into a resource gathering montage. So let's get going. And so we started off mining down spruce wood because we knew we were going to need a lot of spruce trapdoors for this build, plus a bunch of spruce wood to do flooring. So here we are mining it down, loads and loads. And while we were mining down and creating the trapdoors, we were also keeping an eye on our copper field that we had placed out to start oxidizing all the copper. So while we were cutting it down, we also came and collected the oxidized copper and replaced it with more copper. Once the spruce wood was complete, we ended up starting to mine down the birch wood and the oak wood that we were going to need for this project. And let me tell you, it was a lot because we also decided to do wood and not logs. And so this meant even more chopping than regular, but we made it and we got all the wood we need, plus a little bit extra, which will be great if we don't lose any. We headed off to the desert and we mined down so much sand and so much sandstone to get ready for smelting down to smooth sandstone. We do need a little bit of sandstone itself, so we got some for sandstone and a bunch that we could start smelting to make down for smooth sandstone. Once we got back to the base, we put these into the furnace, and now we got ourselves a bunch of smooth sandstone. Well, we've done it. That was 2 very long IRL days of resource gathering. But behind me in those 15 shulker boxes, we got our resources for this entire build. But we aren't ready to start building yet. We have a little bit of more prep work to do. So now that we have all the resources that we're going to need, it's time to start thinking about actually preparing the land to build this build up. Now, we could just build it right here without removing any dirt or the like, but we're going to run into a few problems because there is going to be some clearing out that I will need to have to do. And so at this point, I think honestly, it is just the best bet to grab our beacon, set it up, and tear this whole thing down. Which I know, I've talked about this before. Who wants to do even more digging and get even more resources that we have no space for? Well, that's the beauty of today's build. We are making a storage unit. And so we're going to have a place to store all the materials, but we're going to start with this chest monster behind me, and we are going to get this area cleared out for our mega build. So I have realized something now that we have the beacon set up. If you take a look at my tools, they're almost broken. So unfortunately, I am going to have to run to the end and go and heal up those tools before we can get started. But then we're going to come back here and we are going to make a mess in this area and get it cleared out for our build. The next time you see me, we're going to be doing a short little time lapse and clearing this area out. So I'll see you guys on the other side. It appears that we have made a total and complete disastrous mess behind us. But there is hope for this area because now that it's fully cleared out, we can actually get busy and build up our new storage unit. Once we actually get this whole building built up, then there'll be coming the task to do some landscaping around and make it fit into our mountain behind us. But sometimes, you know what? You gotta make things a little bit messy before you can make them pretty. So now that we've done that, I think it is time that we get ready to jump into another time lapse and get this building built up. After many trips to the end to heal our tools and 2 IRL long days, we finally have our palace. And I'm so happy. Oh my goodness, it looks incredible and I love it so much. It took a lot of effort and a lot of time to create, but the results are so worth it. So let's go take a look at it a little bit closer. As you can tell here in the bottom, we have a lot of storage stuff that we need to clean up. But that's the beauty of now having a mega storage room, and oh my goodness, it's beautiful. It needs a few more decorations in here, but it's been like already, I don't know, 60 hours putting into this episode, so I think we'll leave decorations for next episode. But I really love how much storage we now have. I did different kind of banks of storage here along the side, different size, just kind of how they fit in. We're going to need to do some kind of light situation because, as you can tell, we're still using torches. That is what it is. This is an automated storage unit, and so if we break into the back here, you can see all fully automated, all fully working, and I am excited. This is going to be amazing to be able to store all the goods in these chests. This is the bubble vader where the items come up. And if you take a look here, let's just get rid of that. If you take a look right here, you can barely see them, but these are barrels. This one, you stick in just the plain items, and this one is actually a shulker box unloader. So my husband helped me put this together, and when I say help me, he did it for me, and then I copied it into this world. So this is where the shulker boxes will come out at, and down here is super plain right now, and there's currently no exit or room to leave here. But if you go underneath the stairs currently, I just left a little bit of a hole here, and this is the shulker unloader and the item sorter thing. So this goes up into the storage unit, into the bubble vader, and the shulker loader is up there somewhere. Can't really see it, it's a little hard, but it's up there. So, or shulker unloader, sorry. And then the shulkers go in there. I do have plans to put a custom tree right here in the center. So this build here that I've created, I used a concept art from the Babylon Hanging Gardens that I really liked. And so that's kind of the theme I'm going with this build. And so I think a beautiful custom tree right here in the center on the bottom, and maybe some other garden-y paths and the like around the bottom here could be really nice. So that will come in a later episode, but I figure a big custom tree just reaching up through the centerpiece could be beautiful. So that's where the storage unit is right there. And if you fly up this direction, I decided to put in also a super smelter right here. And so it's all set up. I have nothing in it yet, but the fuel would go in there and the items would go in there. And it should run back and forth and do its thing. We have a special little garden right here in the middle. I need to still put in some like string on top of some of these things because I don't want them to just like grow as tall as they want. We got some sea pickles in the bottom and some mossy cobble for stones. So it's just super simple, but I thought it was a really neat kind of idea to put in this like garden in the center. And then here, obviously in the middle, we got a little bit of a chandelier. Just a simple chandelier, but it works to give off enough light in this area to make it mob proof. It's also just kind of pretty. As you can tell here on this side, all these little spaces are going to be for villagers. So I am going to, in a future episode, bring up a bunch of villagers that we can use for trades. So probably a couple of farmer villagers for food, and then maybe a couple of masons, and I'm not sure what else, but I'm sure there's a few that we can fit in here just for the trades that we want. And then a bunch of other villagers I would like to go and put out over in the village just so they can wander around. If they die, they die, but like at least these guys would be safe. But I'm super happy with this build. Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous, it's huge, and pretty sure it's probably the biggest. Oh, there's a creeper up there. Well, that could have been dangerous. I am pretty sure this is the largest build that I have ever made. So super happy with how this has turned out. Now, obviously, there is a lot of landscaping that needs to be done around this build. And so I do want to come in and do a bunch of landscaping. So I'm considering shaving back this mountain right here so you can actually see the sides, and then shaving back this side as well and kind of molding it in a little bit better. So one of the things that I wanted to do to decorate up the top here is to actually plant in a couple of azalea trees. And just vanilla azalea trees. If I really hate what they look like, sure, I'll fix them up a little bit, but I think it could be nice to have a few azalea trees along the side, and then also if we take a few leaves and kind of hang them up and around this area, it could look much more overgrown and much more in touch with kind of the idea of the Babylon Hanging Gardens. I wouldn't mind putting some water in different places as well, but we'll have to see where we can actually fit that in, because having like a few waterfalls kind of falling off of this build could be really nice. Yes, that adds in so much more when you actually add in the green pieces and the decorations around. So I really like adding in those vanilla azalea trees. I think that adds a lot to this build and just makes it a little bit more green and alive. Definitely more leaves are needed, like across this front part and down over these sides for sure. But I am liking this. Yes, those green leaves definitely help a lot. I really like how the adding just the azalea leaves has brought a lot more life to this build. I have to figure out where else I could throw in some water and that kind of thing. But I do like the addition of the azalea leaves for the decor around our palace. So I think that's going to be it for this week's episode. As I said, it has taken me a long time, 6 IRL days, to design and build and gather the materials, not necessarily in that order, to get this palace ready here in our world. So if you do want to support me, a like and a subscribe would be absolutely amazing. And sharing my video is also very much appreciated. From the next episode from this server, we will be getting to do the rest of the exterior decor and some more interior decor. And between episodes, I will definitely get all those materials into our new storage system and get it all set so we can just start putting materials in there. But until next time, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I shall see you in the next episode. Bye for now.